This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of June 5th, 2023. We are in for a high-energy, highly communicative week. Could be lots and lots of fun, lots of motivation and inspiration to leave the house, to actually interact with people, to talk, and to talk some more. Many astrological aspects this week, and most of them encourage, support, and invite actually enjoying your life. Venus, the social director of the skies, the goddess of love, the ruler of beauty, art, our aesthetics, what we value, money, relationships. Venus moves into a mode that she really likes. The sign of Leo, where Mars has been for a little while. Venus in Leo is strut your stuff territory. Venus in Leo encourages tremendous self-expression, dressing up, indulgence, which will get really strong by the end of the weekend when she meets up with her co-conspirator in indulgence, Jupiter. And those two moves of hers, in fact, mark the story arc of the week, the storyline of the week, wanting attention, wanting what you want, wanting to look good, feel good, go out and about, and then wanting that more. As soon as she changes signs on the 5th, she immediately has a challenge to her counterpart in money and desire, Pluto. We may get a look at something that we cannot yet attain. We may experience an incredibly intense longing that cannot find expression. And we will very likely focus in on something huge that we really want. And if you think about it, not being able to have something makes it all the more desirable. Opportunities to fantasize follow, to daydream, to look at something from a higher perspective, to maybe even fool ourselves some when Mercury sextiles Neptune on the 9th. Maybe a concept or a piece of information is dangled in front of you and you have the opportunity or the choice to look at a situation with a little more compassion or empathy. Or maybe you just get an incredible creative inspiration. And speaking of incredible, the weekend is incredibly packed with astrological action. 5 events on June 11th. The first ushers in a process that will go on into early 2024 of revisiting and doing some remedial cleanup work on the structural and institutional and foundational collapses that we have all been experiencing. Pluto, planet of transformation, is stepping away from the doorway to the future, aka the first degree of the sign of Aquarius, and going back into Capricorn, the sign that it visited from January 2008 until late March of this year. Pluto is only going to go a few degrees back into Capricorn. It will ultimately reach the degree of the U.S. Pluto, offering us the 4th pass of institutional and foundational review that so many people have been talking about. 2 things to keep in mind at this point. The first is for you personally, you will now have a several-month opportunity to revisit all kinds of foundational, family, and ancestral issues that have been collapsing, falling apart, restructured, and particularly revisiting the state all of that was in last year and into March of this year. And secondly, for the next few months, every time a planet reaches the end of a sign, it is going to have a contact with Pluto before it moves into the next sign. This means every planetary cycle ends with a cutting away, a focusing, and intensifying. And the first planet to experience that is Mercury, the planet that rules what goes in and out of our mouths and minds, our technology, and also how we get around. Mercury is at the very end of the sign of Taurus, the slow-moving, earthbound, resource-focused sign. Mercury is in the easy flow of a trine, meaning that on Saturday, you may very likely get incredible clarity about something of fundamental importance to your security. You may have a conversation or a thought process organically occur with incredible candor. Your mind could clarify, your thinking could clarify. You may have a conversation that really gets to the heart of a situation, probably involving something that you've been a little scared or hesitant to bring up, or that you have dreaded, and the conversation, the thought process simply happens, and things are very different afterwards. And after our minds lighten their loads, Mercury moves into his airy home of Gemini, lightening the atmosphere, encouraging quickness of thought and multitasking, and darting from topic to topic to topic, and also finding things to laugh about, not taking ourselves so seriously, not taking life so seriously. The general vibe of conversation is incredibly compatible with the social bent of going out and having a good time. Mercury in Gemini may not be making a direct aspect to either Venus or Mars in Leo, but the energy certainly gets along with them. This will be one of those weekends you have 15 invitations on the same day, and you go out and the roads are just filled with people, and the parks are filled with people, and the stores and the malls are just filled with people, and restaurants are jammed. Everyone is going to want to be out and about. Indulgence is in the air. Self-indulgence is in the air. I want. Smiles, looking good, buying things without thinking too much about what they cost, with Venus squaring Jupiter, the two planets of indulgence just egging each other on. And the only uncomfortable undercurrent is something nudging you to do things differently, to loosen up, to open up, to be a new version of yourself. Kick back and enjoy. Have a good time. The week after this will be incredibly volatile, not necessarily in a bad way. We will all be pushing things forward. So give yourself a break and allow yourself to indulge and enjoy. How often does this come around? Homing thought of the week. I am worth it. Song of the week. Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves. And the image of the week is dressing up because you want to. I have lots more about this in my forecast for the month of June, which is up at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. I'm Kathy Biehl, a professional astrologer with more than 30 years' experience. I host the show Celestial Compass on Om Times Radio on the first and third Monday of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern. And my show this week looks at a new astrology guide that shows you how to look at all the planetary combinations together at the outset. I also host lively conversation on Facebook at Empowerment Unlimited and the group The Astro-Insight Lounge. I have lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, and I'm really grateful to the people who support my work there. I'm on Instagram at @KABiehl and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian channel. Talk to you next week.